thing where I live, because I live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in Hillbilly Land, where they race caskets, like Pinewood Derby cars, but I think they just go across a flat street and push each other instead of a hill. It'd be way fucking funnier with a hill. The cameraman on our shoulders. Hopefully not kill her.
Maniacs doing well. All right, here they come. Can the defending champs, Wayland Academy, hang on to their title?
This is probably about as Midwest as it gets for an event. Just this lone man sitting next to his full-size pipe organ, sad, but beautiful. Do you think I can get in on this box maze over here? Think they'll let me in? Thick. A little thick for the boxes. Hey guys, it's me, your pal Gabriella. Let's get a clickbait. And tonight I'm going to drink Night Train Express. I personally bought this when it was still new, when they discontinued it in 2016. It's made by E&J Gallo. They discontinued it because of the bad connotation of homeless people drinking this and legitimately laying down in traffic and dying. And E&J kind of, not that they're, I wouldn't call them highbrow by any means, but they see themselves as highbrow now. It's got an alcohol percent of 17.5. This is an 8-year-old bottle. I had the cameraman drive all the way to Iowa to get these from town there that had them in a Hy-Vee. I think I paid, what, $3 a piece for these? And I have, I think, 3 or 4 of them left. It's my favorite drink. I hope it held up. I tried to keep it well, but it spent some time at a storage unit. So we'll hope it tastes all right. I mean, this stuff doesn't taste good, to be completely honest. The heavy amount of sulfites in this is, it's a real different drunk. It's kind of like being extremely stoned if you drink enough of this. One time, my friend, an old friend of mine, who will go without name, went to his first cage fight, and me and his friend started drinking this at 9 in the morning, and we were in Ames, Iowa after he won his cage fight, and we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I kept telling my one friend that you know when you meet your friend's friend, and you're like, yeah, I'm not friends with that asshole, he's my friend's friend, and you immediately don't like each other? Well, that's what happened, and me and this guy had some issues in high school where we almost fought, and I told my friend that I was going to headbutt him when I saw him because I was wasted. I've been drinking this since 9 a.m., and it was like 7 o'clock at night, and I'd gone through 2 or 3 bottles of it. And I told him I was going to headbutt him when I saw him, and he's a shit starter, so he's like, no, you won't, because his friend was a big guy. He was like, I don't know, probably 6 foot, 6'1", and like 225 pounds of solid muscle, and I was like maybe 165 pounds at the time. And we're in Buffalo Wild Wings in Ames, Iowa, like I said, and he comes out of the bathroom my friend walks me over to him, and he comes out of the bathroom, and I headbutt him directly in the face, and we got in a fight, and I definitely won the fight, and I headbutt him so hard. Hey, look here, where my left nose is fucked up. I have a deviated septum. I broke my own nose headbutting him. I kind of wish I hadn't. I can't smell and taste well because of that, but definitely a funny story. When I went to ER the next day, I was like, yeah, I think he broke my nose because he hit me so hard that my eyes swelled shut. And they said it from the angle, it was definitely me. And then the next day I went over to my buddy's house because we lived next door to each other in apartments. And his friend was there, and he goes, hey, Gabe, who do you think won that fight? And I go, oh, definitely me. And he goes, well, he thinks he won. I'm like, dude, we could fight again right now. And he goes, you know, Gabe, I've never been more afraid of somebody than when I hit you and your eye closed and you just started laughing. So, funny story. Last time I ever seriously drank this, because I stopped being able to get it, because it was right, it had actually been discontinued shortly after that. So let's have a small taste of this. Let's hope it kept up. I'll let you know. I'll know the smell right away. It smells like fucking death. And that's how it's supposed to smell. I think that's turned maybe a tiny bit. What do you think, cameraman? Maybe a little bit?
Slightly.
Yeah. I will tell you what will knock your dick in the dirt, and it is certainly this wine. That's probably more than... I'm not even going to drink that whole cup. This shit's way too strong. Here, Cameron, you can have some too. So, smell is absolute gasoline. It's definitely turned, but it just made it deeper and sweeter. It actually tastes better rotten. That's how horrid this is. And have a sip, or Cameron, tell me what you think. It tastes better rotten, 100% it does. It like dulled the harshness. Remember how it used to have like a really hard bite? It's totally gone. From how so it actually tastes better. This is meant to be served extremely cold, according to the label. Where does it say? Served very cold. They know it tasted like shit. And I did so. I let that sit in my fridge overnight. Interesting drink to drink. Like I said, it's my favorite drink. They fucking produced this in the mid 60s. So let's say 1965, okay? So 35 years plus the 24 from now. So what? 59 years, probably about 60 years they sold this fucking shit. And my father told me this was disgusting. And one day on a whim, I fucking bought it for $3. And it got me so wildly inebriated that I absolutely loved it. All right? And my dad was wrong. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful drink. And I think 2 years into me drinking it, they discontinued it. That happens to every product I really enjoy. Do you guys remember Oculto beer? It was I can't remember who made it. Do you remember who made Oculto? But it was beer they soaked in tequila staves, and they discontinued that too, and it was delicious. They sold it at Walmart in 6-packs for a while. Anyways, so that's Night Train. It's, like I said, my favorite drink. It smells stanky, but it kept up. But, I mean, it's pure fucking sugar. It's so fermented you could fucking keep body parts in it and they'd stay fine probably. Since it's Halloween, should I show them my skulls? Yeah? We'll make this a long episode. You stay there. Pause it. Here's number 1, Show and Tell with Gabe. These are all old medical skeletons. I bought them from people who worked in schools or privately. Or medical skulls, rather. I wish I had a skeleton, but I don't. They're real human skulls. This one I rather like because it's beat to shit. The jaw, oh my god. So disrespectful. This is a person. This is a human being. You see the wiring skull, like I said, it's pretty cool. All right, pause again. Okay, so here's my second one. I'm not going to take the hinge off because it's a bitch to get back on, but I would imagine that's a female just because of how small. I mean, look at my hand on it. I have big hands, but I'm like 5'9". But this is kind of cool. No, shh. Don't tell Brianna. Okay, I'll get the next one. This was the most expensive one I bought. I'm not going to tell you what I paid, but it was a good amount of money. And it's the biggest. I believe it's a male because if you look at my hand next to it, this one's hinged in a really very clean way, but it's a little bit of a bitch because the hinges are they kind of stick. But his mouth's hinged really well. This is the other one's cleaner, but this is pretty close. For what it's worth, if you ever see these are not a cheap thing. They're worth quite a bit of money. There's a very good secondary market for these, and people love them. Sometimes there's really suspect ones, though. If you see brown, that can be an old skull, but if you see brown and there's like a waxy sheen or a white substance on it, that's what's called corpse wax, and that's what happens as you degrade in the coffin over time. So, I don't know, man. Like, those ones are suspect as fuck. I don't buy those. These are much more, I guess morally correct to buy, but, you know, somebody's old head. It's like a bird. Alright, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna say the N-word.